Hi everybody, welcome back to Sunshine Soap and Candle Company. Today I'm bringing to you another super strong wax melt video, but this time we're going to be using a fragrance perfect for the holidays. And actually my directions and instructions this time are going to be a little bit different than previous wax melts videos. And as always in my wax melts videos, I'm going to be very transparent and tell you exactly what I'm using, so you'll have a full recipe when you're done watching this video. But if you would like the full written recipe and tutorial, please visit my Patreon campaign where you can unlock that for just a $5 pledge. All right, let's get started. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is go ahead and weigh out our wax. Now I am using my favorite wax melt blend called Pillar of Bliss Wax from Nature's Garden Candles, and I'll go ahead and link this in the description box below so you can purchase this if you like. And we are going to be using 2 pounds today. I think in my past videos you've seen instructions for 1 pound, and we're going to be doing it a little bit different today. So I'm going to weigh out 2 pounds directly into my melt pot. Okay, now we need to take this wax and heat it up over super low heat to 195 degrees. So I'll bring you over to the stove so you can see just what that looks like. Okay, I am heating this wax up over direct heat. I am not using a double boiler, so we need to be very careful and just make sure we're babysitting this wax and we don't walk away from it at all. We're heating it up to 195 degrees. And you want to make sure you're pretty much constantly stirring it when it's over direct heat so you don't get any hot spots in the wax. If you feel safer, go ahead and pop this into a double boiler. Okay, so we've gone ahead and taken it off the heat and we've added in our color. And we used 4 drops of the Sierra Candles concentrated dye red and 2 drops of the orange. And we're going for kind of a dark orangish red color. We are going to be using the Cranberry Rhubarb fragrance oil from Nature's Garden, and the manufacturer's directions on this wax say to add the fragrance in when the wax is at 180 degrees. And we are sitting right around 184 degrees, and I'm actually going to go ahead and weigh my fragrance out and get it ready to go now because the flash point of this fragrance is 186 degrees. And if we're adding it closer to that temperature, when the wax is closer to that temperature, then the molecules of the wax and the fragrance will combine better, and you're going to get a better scent throw. Also this time around, something that's really different is I'm not using 3 ounces of fragrance per pound of wax here. You have seen me do that in other videos where the fragrance is not as strong or concentrated out of the bottle, and after testing the product and things like that, that ratio worked really well. This fragrance happens to be very, very strong right out of the bottle, and I want to pick up some more of those cranberry notes, those tart cranberry notes in the wax melt itself as it's burning. So we are only actually using 1 ounce of fragrance per 1 pound of wax. So we have 2 pounds of wax in here, so I just used 2 ounces of the Cranberry Rhubarb, which is a very, very strong fragrance right out of the bottle. Okay, so we're just giving this a good stir, and then we're going to pour it into our little clamshell containers. Okay. That should do it on the stirring. So we're ready to go ahead and pour it into the containers, and we're sitting right around 165 degrees now. Let me go ahead and get our little containers ready for pouring. So I'm using these little clamshell containers. You can pick these up on Amazon. I think I've heard people say you can get these on Amazon. You can pick them up at any candle or soap supply store, or any store that sells candle supplies online. I happen to get mine from Nature's Garden Candles. And they hold roughly 3 ounces of liquid wax per container. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and pour. Okay, this fills up 13 3-ounce containers, and I do have a little bit left over. You can see this one is partially full, so we'll just pop this out when it's cool and reuse this container for more wax melts, and then we can use these for home use. So I'm gonna let these set up and cool down a bit, and then I'm gonna come back and show you how we're gonna do the topping. Okay, so as you can see, these are partially set up, and it's the perfect time when they look like this to heat up your topping. So I've just put a little bit more of the Pillar of Bliss wax into my melt pot, and I'm gonna go ahead and heat this up. Not to any particular temperature, I'm just not gonna go above that 195-degree range. I'll be right back when it's melted down. All right, I've gone ahead and melted down a little bit more of that Pillar of Bliss wax, and as you can see, it's got a little bit of a pink tint to it. That's because there was still some red and orange in my melt pot. That's okay, I don't mind. I actually think it'll look really nice. I intentionally did not clean out the melt pot. You can clean it out if you want the topping to be a bright white. And this is actually gonna be pretty white as it sets up, but it might have a little bit of a pink hue. So we're just taking a disposable pipette and I'm gonna do a little drizzle. Let's just test this out and see if this is gonna be cool enough to set up. Okay. I'm gonna give that just a little bit longer to cool down, the wax to cool down just a little bit. I do like to set it up, I do like it to set up a bit quicker than it's doing now, and I certainly don't want it to break through that layer. So I'm gonna give it about 1 more minute. We'll be right back. Okay, so now the wax is sitting right at around 160 degrees, so we're ready to go ahead and place a decorative little drizzle. All right, now that those have the white topping on, we're just gonna do one quick little last thing here. And what I'm gonna do is put a little bit of glitter over the top. This is cosmetic grade glitter. This is called Whiplash, and it's from Nurture Soap. I get questions a lot from a lot of you asking if glitter's okay for wax melts. Yes, it is okay for wax melts. It's just gonna sink to the bottom of your wax when it's in your melter. And basically when you lift the wax out of the container, out of the little wax melt holder, the glitter comes right out with it. And it doesn't degrade. This one, it doesn't degrade. So you'll see it the whole time you're using your wax melt. And I'm just sprinkling the top. This makes it look so cute and festive, doesn't it? Just perfect for the holidays. This is a really fine glitter. It almost kind of feels like really soft beach sand. It's just very fine grain, which is kind of nice. The fine grain glitters stick a little bit better. I just love this Whiplash glitter. I can't get enough of it. Isn't that gorgeous? It just reminds me of The Wizard of Oz and Dorothy's Ruby Red Slippers, which is my favorite book and movie of all time. Initially I had bought the Whiplash to make a Ruby Red Slipper soap, which I have tried, and I haven't perfected yet, so I'm not ready to share that with you all, but that's what this glitter was intended for originally, and I'm almost done with it now. I've used it for a bunch of other projects. Is this gorgeous? Okay. Okay, so there you have it. That's how you make the cranberry rhubarb wax melts. And I'm gonna show you how they look when they're all the way set up, and then I'm gonna leave you with a little time lapse of how they melt down in the warmer.